So hello, good morning everybody. My name is Brona Mallon and I'm a local tour guide here in Mid-Ulster and a member of Tour Guides NI. And today I'm going to show you my local area. I'm standing here on my home turf and behind me you'll see Lough Neagh, which is the biggest freshwater lake in the British Isles, home to the largest wild eel fishery in Europe. And behind that again you can see Slieve Galleon and the Sperrin Mountains, split by the Glensheen Pass. So today we're going to visit the eel fishery and then we're going to visit the Sperrins to see the beautiful countryside. So today I'm just really going to give you a little taster of the treasures we have here in Mid-Ulster. So here we are on the Tomb Canal with one of the lovely boats from Riverbound Tours, and this is where, just beyond there, the Riverbound is leaving Lough Neagh on its way towards the sea at Coleraine. And Riverbound Tours can offer tours to see the lovely countryside, the wildlife, the fauna, the fish, and of course JK coaches can facilitate groups as well. So fun tours for all. So welcome to the Lough Neagh Fishermans Cooperative here on the edge of Lough Neagh. The cooperative here is committed to building and preserving a sustainable and viable future for the fishing community here around the shores of Lough Neagh. And in the visitor centre you can come and discover all the heritage of fishing, even the myths of the fishing on the loch, and in particular the fascinating lifestyle of the eel. And you can meet the fishermen. You might even get a taste of a little bit of smoked eel or dullahan or pollen that are all fished here in Lough Neagh. Right, well, here we are on the factory floor and Paul is just going to fish us out some of today's catch. So Paul, yes, can we have a look? These were caught this morning.
Yeah, these are caught fresh this morning and those will be on European breakfast tables tomorrow morning.
Oh, European breakfast tables, come on now. Yep. So what way do they eat them?
They will go now over into Holland, be hot smoked and be nice and warm for breakfast tomorrow morning.
So it's a real delicacy in Holland.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So would Holland be the major market?
Yes, Holland will be the best market and the most craved for when it comes to European eel.
They really love it. So are they shipped live?
Yeah, they're shipped the way you see them now and they'll arrive the same conditions over in Holland.
Right. Well, that's great. Personally, I love eels, but I'm not that fond of that bit of them there, seeing them like that, but I really love the taste of them. Yes. And we're hoping later on today to have a wee sample of smoked eel.
Oh, best thing you can eat.
Yes. So here we are in Balahi, the lovely village of Balahi, and we're in Heaney Home Place. And this place is a commemoration, of course, to Seamus Heaney. But I'm going to introduce you to the manager, Brian McCormick. Brian, hopefully you'll tell us just a wee bit about the place.
Yeah, well, thank you, Brona. Yes, you're here at Seamus Heaney Home Place, the building that celebrates the life and the work of, I think it's widely known as one of Ireland's greatest writers. And in our award-winning exhibition, we take people on an immersive journey through the life and work of the wonderful poet. And we do so through the poems themselves, yes. And people are afforded an opportunity to hear Seamus Heaney read those poems via our audio devices. And we find that becomes a very emotional experience for people to hear those words read by the poet in a building of this nature. And through the poems, people also have an opportunity to meet friends, family, neighbours and siblings. that meant so much to him.
To him, and the area that he grew up in and lived in, and now where his final resting place is here in Balahi as well. One of the things that I loved myself was even seeing his the school desk and the school bag and the pen.
It's a very personal experience, and I think people also are very much taken by how authentic a person Seamus Heaney was, and we wish to reflect that within Home Place as well, and the warmth of welcome that they receive from the team here is something that's very, very important to us as well.
Well, I can certainly vouch for that. So here we are in Ballyscullion Park, which is a lovely historic estate. It's a private home of Richard and Rosalind Mulholland, surrounded by ancient woodland and looking down over Church Island. So yes, Richard and Rosalind, here we are, and thank you for having us here today. Richard, I'm hoping that you'll tell us a wee bit about the house and the estate.
Great, no problem at all. Love to see you, Brenna. We do tours here of the house, and we do small groups, sort of 18, 20 roughly.
Yes.
The house was built in 1840 by a very famous architect called Sir Charles Lanyon.
All right, who designed lots of things in Belfast. I'm thinking Queen's University and the courthouses, yes. And,
would you like to come into the drawing room?
Yes, Rosalind, would be lovely. So Richard, what kind of services can you offer here for visitors?
Well, we offer lunch. We do have tours come here, about 18 to 20 people. And we also offer very sort of smart dinners for people. So we'd have the full silver and candles and all
the works.
That sort of thing. So they get an idea of what this house used to be like.
Yes.
And we also stay with them, so they're like guests of ours. So,
yes.
So we chat and everything else. And then we would bring them in here, and I would give them a chat about the history of the family, our family. We were the biggest linen producers.
Of course.
We've had films here. We've had the Game of Thrones.
Yes.
So part of the Game of Thrones was filmed up in the old ruins. So what I do too also is tell them who are all these relations, funny looking people here, of my various relations. This lady here, she is a cousin of mine, and Jane Austen is my 5th great aunt.
Wow.
So we have a lot of Jane Austen societies coming from around the world.
So the history is very rich.
It's very rich here.
Yes.
Very rich here, so we've got lots of things to do.
So here we are in Bakehouse Balahi, and we've been invited in by Brona, another Brona, and Bakehouse was founded by Brona, who is passionate about food and cooking. But Brona, I know that you were a nurse beforehand, but anyway, we'll hear all about that. So anyway, here we are in Brona's lovely kitchen, and Brona, tell us a wee bit about your business.
Well, I've just been passionate about food my whole life. To me, food is very important, you know, to heal the body and the mind, for nutrition, but it's more than that. Food is an expression of love for me, and it's how I show love to my family and my friends, and you know, it's just one of those things. It brings people together, and really.
And the atmosphere that you've created here is beautiful. Like, I'm looking at the fire, Brona, it's just gorgeous to come in.
Well, I try to create my granny's kitchen, you know, that it's just somewhere comfortable where people feel at ease. You see, everything's kind of sitting out. It's not. Yes. It's not clinical.
It is not.
It's meant to be relaxed.
Yes.
And just make everyone feel, you know, take a few hours out of their life.
And even to come in through the back door and smell buns, Brona, buns. It's just lovely, and I can see. Do you have classes here, or what?
Yeah, well, I do afternoon tea classes, so they are one of our biggest sellers at the minute.
Yes.
Well, obviously after our lockdown is lifted.
Yeah, but I think you were doing afternoon tea boxes, weren't you?
Yes, we do them, yeah. So it's a 5-course afternoon tea box. We've got a cake course, we have a dessert course, cheese course, we have mini starter and scone course. So yeah, a cake can be a course.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, afternoon tea boxes, and then our classes, we do afternoon tea classes. We come and you bake your own afternoon tea. We do foraging classes as well. One is called Digging for Gin. So we just go out into the hedges and we pick whatever berries are in season, and then we mix them in sugar and gin, and that makes.
And then you don't drink it all, do you?
No, but there's some there.
Oh, look.
So that's one that we did, that was October 20. So I like to keep it for a year to infuse.
Okay.
So you can see the berries there, it's slow berries.
Right.
You can put blackberries in it if you want as well.
Okay.
Raspberries, whatever you have. So it's good fun. And
so you can have a group of people who will go out and forage and come back and prepare.
So we do bread classes, the soda bread on the griddle over the fire. So would you like me to show you the griddle?
Yes.
So, so this would be the traditional way that the soda farls were baked. So we have got the turf fire here.
And is this the way your granny would have done it herself?
Granny would have done it, you know. And then we click on our griddle and we put our soda farls on, and we're going to slide that in over the fire. Okay.
And then just leave it.
Yeah. So
keep a wee eye on it.
A nice low heat, so and the smell of the bread cooking.
And the turf. Yes.
So this afternoon's recipe is going to be soda farls. So it's a lovely traditional bread that we would eat in Northern Ireland a lot, and it's so easy to make. We literally have in the bowl some plain flour, and to that we're going to add a teaspoon of salt. We're going to add a teaspoon of baking soda, and then we're going to bring it all together with some nice buttermilk, and we're going to place it onto this griddle when we get the dough formed, and that will cook and the smell will be amazing. Okay, right, so I will now put in the baking soda. Okay, so we have the baking soda in, and we're now going in with a teaspoon of salt. Okay, so we have got in the bowl our plain flour, our salt and our baking soda. So baking is all about the chemical reaction. So what's going to happen is the alkaline in the baking soda is going to combine with the acid in the buttermilk, the lactic acid, and that's going to create bubbles of carbon dioxide in the presence of heat and moisture, and that's going to make your bread rise. So it's all about getting the chemistry right. Okay, so just going to mix the dry ingredients together. Okay, so now we're going to add the buttermilk to the dry ingredients. Okay, so the buttermilk has been added into the dry ingredients. So we're going to bring that into a nice soft dough. Okay, so I like to get it started with a knife and then finish it off with my hands, bring it all together. Okay, so now I'm going to bring it together with my hands, and if I need to add a bit more buttermilk at this stage, I will do. We're literally bringing it together very gently. So soda bread it's a nice soft bread, and we don't want to overwork the gluten. So we just want to give it the suggestion of creating a dough and just allowing it to let the ingredients. Okay. So I'm just literally going to transfer it onto the board now. And a bit of, just dust it with some flour. Okay, and then we just form it into a nice round. Okay. All right, so we've made a roundish shape there, and then we're now going to transfer it onto a floured board, so onto a floured griddle rather. So, all right. Okay. And now I'm going to transfer it. So, Okay, so I have got the soda flowers on the flour dusted griddle, and we're now going to put it over the heat, and they should cook about 20 minutes gently on each side.
So here we are at the Dark Sky Park and Observatory, and Mary, hello, this is Mary McKeown, who has it was Mary's vision that created this place, and it is one of the treasures of Mid-Ulster today.
Brona, thank you very much.
So Mary, I want you to tell us a wee bit about the place.
Well, Brona, welcome to Northern Ireland's first Dark Sky Park. And the name Alm comes from our Ugham standing stones, which can be found in Dava Forest as part of our archaeology walk.
All right.
It also represents Beckmore stone circles. And as you can see, the shape of the M represents the beautiful Shelburne Mountains.
Of course.
So this experience has been developed over the last 10 years.
Right.
And it's my privilege to welcome you here today, Brona, and give you a wee snippet of what
Well,
we have
that's
to offer.
exactly what we want. We want to give our the people who are looking on to this an idea of what they can do, the experience that they're going to have by coming here. And I know it's fantastic. And although we're filming at the minute in daylight, the nighttime show is spectacular.
It is indeed. The
So,
Alm Odyssey
yeah.
show is amazing.
So Mary, lead the way.
Well, indeed. Come on ahead. So, Brona, you
Yes.
may ask, where has this all come from, and
Yes.
why are we at Dark Sky Park?
Okay.
So, back in 2015, I was very fortunate and went on a learning journey to Scotland. And when I was in the Forest Park in Galloway, I realised that they had Dark Sky accreditation. And when I come back to the office, I done a bit of research, and I thought, you know what? We are as dark here in Dava
Yes.
as they were in Scotland. And I spoke to my friends that worked then in Armagh Planetarium and Observatory, and we put up sky quality meter readers, which we do still have, and we measured the darkness of the sky. And the results were phenomenal. We were as dark as Galloway, we were as dark as any other dark sky.
And this
across
is one of
world.
the, I think, the one, there are 73, is that right?
No, we're actually the 77th.
You're the 78th.
Dark Skies Park.
There you go.
And the Grand Canyon is the 77th.
Well,
so that'll
there.
put some context.
Yes.
So, Brona, I would like to bring you over
Yes.
to Beckmore stone circles.
The Beckmore stone circles.
It is indeed, Brona, and you may ask, why are we here? We believe this is our first observatory, and I would suggest that you stop off here. Any tour group, before it gets dark to come round to the observatory, stop off here, and the tour guide will lead the group into the stone circles. They are so unique and iconic because they have got 3 sets of circles
Okay.
and alignments that are believed to go towards the summer solstice and winter solstice.
Okay.
Back in 4000 BC, they used these as a calendar, so a lunar calendar, because they had no time, they had no watches.
Right.
So we believe that this was a gathering place. They didn't live here, and we know this because of the cairns, and in the cairns they found parts of flint and bones. So there was cremation, parties, gatherings, and what we like to do in this corner is let your imagination go wild.
Yes.
And we ask you to tell us, Brona, why you think they laid the stones. So this is a lovely starter to bring you here.
Right. Mary, this is so impressive. So tell me tell me, this is, it's a telescope, because it's a microscope. It's a telescope.
It's a telescope.
So tell me.
So this is sort of the key item within the observatory. So we're in the mezzanine level, as I talk about, but this is where sort of the magic happens.
Okay.
Now, if any of everybody in your group has walking difficulties, we do have lifts that bring you up to this level.
Excellent.
We also have changing places facilities too, so it is accessible for all.
For
this
all.
building. It
That's
is indeed.
very important to know.
It is indeed. Now, you're now looking at our big LX600 Meade telescope. And I know only one person can look through a telescope at any time, but throughout the building you'll see large television screens, projector screens coming down, and we have the ability to project onto the screens. We also have today it's raining, but we also have the ability to tune into a telescope at the other side of the world, and we can actually project that onto the screen as well. So people aren't left feeling disappointed.
It's very high tech, Mary, isn't it?
It is. You don't come to Ireland
no.
for the sun.
Well, exactly. That is, it's fascinating. So here I am on the Glensheen Pass at Glensheen Country Farm, meeting Jamesy McCloy, who is a fourth generation sheep farmer and shepherd. And Jamesy is going to tell us a little bit about the experience that visitors get or have when they visit here. Jamesy, the setting is absolutely beautiful, and I've just seen the dogs. So tell me, the sheepdogs. So tell us a wee bit about what sort of experience your visitors have when they come here.
Well, thanks for calling past. It's always great to see anybody coming up to the farm to share what we do here. We have tried to put in place an opportunity where visitors locally or from around the world that can drop in, share what we do, let them see the sheepdogs working, and just take a step back and time a little bit and see things that's being done today that would have been done the same, this years gone by. On
like your father and
Grandpa,
his would have done before.
And it's great to have that opportunity, and people seem to, I don't know, kind of really enjoy seeing the setting, the scenery that we have here, and watching the sheepdogs working and having a bit of crack, and they nearly laugh harder when the dogs do something wrong, but that's all part of it. That's all part. I can't be annoyed with them because I don't do everything right either. So, but it's all a bit of crack. As long as we're having a bit of fun and they're enjoying what we're doing, and we get a chance to share it, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. And you're happy to have groups of visitors here?
Yes, we accommodate. There's times it could be one person, two people here.
Yeah.
There's coaches of 50, 60.
Oh my goodness,
so
right?
It just depends on what's
And you have plenty of
organised.
space.
Yeah, plenty of space,
And of course it never rains in the Spurns, but just in case.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case it snows. We have the facilities in place here that it's all year round.
Yeah.
And again, the same thing, no matter what size the group in, we can keep them well social distance. They get tea, coffee, biscuits on arrival, just to give them that warm Irish welcome.
Lovely.
The toilet facilities just behind us. So it's all about having everything together, that the group are here to spend time and enjoy what we do.
So this is Swatra, and we're at Friels Bar. It's a very historic pub, and I have to say that a day out ends very nicely with a beautiful meal in hospitable and historic surroundings. So I'm going to bring you in now, and we're going to meet Dermot, who's going to tell us what Friels has to offer. Hello, Dermot.
How are you? Are you well, brother?
Yes, Dermot, it's lovely to be here, and I'm just looking here at this lovely mosaic on the floor, but I know you're going to tell us about it.
Okay.
I'd like you to tell us a wee bit, well, a whole lot, about the pub here and about your connections to it.
Okay, well, we're a fifth generation family run bar and restaurant here, and this wee mosaic here, as you quite rightly mentioned, tells the story of Friels. Firstly, the tonic representing Dr. Mooney. The Mercer's Company put Dr. Mooney and his wife Rose in here in 1837, and it was a doctor's dispensary and surgery. And then when the famine and Garda Moor happened in 1845-46, it was used as a soup kitchen in the Irish famine, and it fed up to about 300 people daily. And the fiddle represents we're big into our Irish music and live music. We like our sport in this area, our hurling and our football. And the 5th of September, the wee stamp represents my great-grandfather, the date he bought the pub.
Right,
okay.
So that's very...
1903.
So Dermot, would you show us, give us a wee...
Certainly.
A wee little... Dermot, this is amazing. So
Yes.
this is a famine pot.
Yes.
Well, tell me about it.
Well, this famine pot was found in an old shade at the back behind the bar about 25-30 years ago, and it was used to make famine soup and, during the famine. And a soup would have been popular around these parts at that time would be a nettle soup and herbs. And
nettle, so it's just really whatever was grown that they could.
Occasionally, if I got to a local butcher, people got like gratin soup there. They maybe got a shin of beef or something like that there. But basically, whatever was available, and then it was cooked off. And this is the old post office here of the building, and this window here is where they serve the soup.
Oh, really? So this is the old. Obviously, it's the old part of the building. So the soup was passed out the window.
Passed out through the window. So the Falmouth Pot used to sit outside there for years, but during lockdown we decided to bring it back to its original home.
Great, Dermot, so tell us the story.
This is the story of a guy called Mick McAtamney, and he was born in the mid-1800s, and he was a poet, adventurer, traveller, and he spent 47 years in 31 different states in America.
Okay.
And after the Great Depression in the States, he came back home to Ireland, and he lived in a wee hen house just outside the village there.
Like a wee toady house. So
yes, a wee toady house, and the local people got together. He had no money or no pension. They run a bit of a barn dance, and they called the Money Sharvin Ball, and they raised money and bought Mick a hen house.
The Money Sharvin Ball.
Yes.
Okay.
And basically, Mick wrote a lot of poetry and poems about America, the lakes of Michigan and Minnesota, and he worked in the steamboats, and look, he said he was in every state in America except the state of Greece.
Oh, very good.
So Mick liked the wee whiskey, and he used to come into the bar at home, and he used to go in and visit my granny.
Yes.
And she would be doing the bar at that time, and she always admired the stick.
I know, and the stick's amazing, isn't it?
So when he passed away on Holy Saturday night, 1946, a couple of days after the funeral, a gentleman came into the bar and gave that to my grandmother. And it just sort of tells the story about his life. So the fist represents St Patrick taking the snake from Ireland.
Okay.
And he spent a short time in England, the English Rose, and he worked in the boats in Ayr in Scotland, in the Scottish Thistle, and this here's Carrickfergus Castle.
Oh, right.
Okay, all those turrets. He carved this stick, the turrets. An American told me it was very like the turrets of San Quentin Jail. That's
I wonder was he there too?
He was actually, that's where he actually did carve that stick in San Quentin Jail in California. Okay, I don't know, he was a bit of a boyo, Mick, a bit of a rascal. There's the red hand of Ulster, the Irish shamrock, and the skull and crossbones represents the journey he had on the boat to America.
Oh.
Okay.